Hello, my lovely children. I am Kritika, your English educator. Today, we'll be continuing Raven and the Fox, part 2 of our unit number 1, Fables and the Folktales from our book Purvi, grade 6. In the last video, we have gone through the poem. We read the poem and we understood its explanation with the words and their meanings, and also we have understood how flattering somebody would work for you, but don't get flattered by somebody's admiring voices, right? You need to use your brain all the time and then take wise decisions. Now in today's video, we're first going to start with the poetic devices. Okay. Now, do you know what poetic devices are? See, poetic devices are a lot in number, but there are certain poetic devices that are being used in this poem, which I'm going to discuss with you. Now, what are poetic devices basically? See, a poet can generally write a poem, okay? And you will read it also. But if a poet or if a poetess will add few poetic devices in it, then the reading becomes nice. For example, if I'm going to use the rhyming words at the end, after every line, if I rhyme all the words, it becomes a nice singing way to use that poem or to read that poem. In the same way, there are many other poetic devices which a poet uses so as to make a poem look nice, and when you read it, you love to read it. You go into all the imagination, and that all happens because of these poetic devices. Okay? So let's start with few poetic devices which we have in this poem. And we'll start with alliteration. What do we start with? Alliteration. Now generally, people confuse alliteration with repetition of the letters. Repetition of the letters. But beta, be very, very, very clear. Alliteration is the repetition of sound. Alliteration is the repetition of sound. Let's take one example. She sells sea shells on the seashore. I'm sure you all have heard this tongue twister. She sells seashells on the seashore, right? So we have all heard this. Now this is a very good example of alliteration. Let's see. Dekho, this is she. This is sells. Sir. Sea starts from sir. Shell starts from shore. Then sea starts from sir and shore starts from shore. If you notice clearly, every word, she, sells, sea, shells, she, sea, shore, they all are starting with the letter S. So I'm sure you all will say that, yes ma'am, these are all the words, they all are alliteration. No, because just now I've told you, alliteration is not the repetition of letters, it is the repetition of sound. Ab dekho, she, shell and shore. She, shell and shore. These are alliteration with the repetition of sound. Sells, sea and this sea. That's your another alliteration. Okay? So understand the difference. Alliteration is the repetition of sound, not the repetition of letter. Got my point? Now see. Example of alliteration in the poem is flattered by the fox's words. If you'll read the poem, if you'll go through all your stanzas again, you'll see this line, flattered by the fox's words. Now here see, flattered and fox. Fur. This is your alliteration. Okay? Moving on, we have next is personification. I love this very much. Personification is, let's take an example. Okay. The tree was swinging because of the wind. It felt like the tree is dancing. Now you tell me one thing. Did you ever see a tree dancing? Or do you think that you'll ever see a tree dancing? No. ठीक है? So when to a non-living thing or such things which are not the objects but they are flora or fauna, मतलब the animals or birds, ठीक है, or trees or something which is a non-living object, and we try to give a human trait, मतलब जो चीजें इंसान कर सकता है, जब हम वही चीज ये दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं that a object or a bird or an animal is doing that thing, that is called personification. For example, in the poem, what did the fox ask the raven to do? He asked the raven to sing. ठीक है? Now you tell me, who sings? Humans sing, right? Do you really think a crow can sing? No, na? So which means that the poet is just trying to beautify it, you know. So actually the crow cannot sing. So what we are doing here is we are trying to give a human trait. यानी ऐसी जो चीज जो एक इंसान कर सकता है, हम वो पोएम में उम्मीद कर रहे हैं कि crow करेगा. That's your personification. ठीक है? The raven is made to sing as though it is a human with the voice. Raven say we are expecting the raven is going to sing. जैसे कि कोई वो इंसान है. That's your personification. ठीक है? Moving on to the next one. Rhyme. Beta, these are the rhyming words in the poem. Bee can speak, song and wrong. ठीक है? Now, rhyme is not actually a poetic device, but the poetic devices we properly call it rhyme scheme. ठीक है? So when we have a rhyming scheme at the end of the stanzas or at the end of every line, that is also the part of a poetic device. ठीक है? Moving on, we have irony. ठीक है? Now what is irony? See, we expect कि होगा ये या होना ये चाहिए, but होता कुछ और है. जैसे कि the raven expects praise. Raven ने क्या expect किया? मेरी तो तारीफ हो रही है, मैं तो बहुत शानदार गाऊंगा. I'm going to sing amazing. I am a handsome animal. Why? Because the fox is saying so. So when I'm going to sing, the people will call, or the animals in the jungle will start calling me king. So this is what the raven is expecting. But what actually happened? He was being foolish by the reynard, and he also lost its mortal. ठीक है? Morsel, sorry. Lost the morsel. So, expect क्या किया था? बहुत तारीफ मिलेगी. I'll be praised. Everyone will call me king. और हुआ क्या? जो साथ में खाना था वो भी चला गया. ठीक है? So when you expect something कि this is going to happen, but something which is complete opposite happens, which you were not expecting. That's the irony which happened with Raven in the poem, that the Raven was expecting pride, that everyone will call it king, but what actually happened? The Raven lost the food. ठीक है? So this is our irony. Now what is imagery? बेटा क्या होता है? The poet when writes a poem tries to paint a picture in your mind, that you start exploring it, that you start imagining whatever you're reading is actually happening in front of you. That's what called imagery, that when your mind starts thinking about that. For example, if I'm telling you a story, said, what happened? So I was going there, and what I saw was there is a beautiful train was passing by, and what I can see was the chimney was leaving the smoke in the air, and because the night was bright, black, complete black, and the stars were shining in the sky. Now what happened? Now when I'm saying all these things, you'll start picturizing those words in your mind. That is called, what are we doing? We have imagination. We are using our imagination, right? So that is the poetic device, which is imagery. Now let's see how it is used in the poem. The image of a raven sitting on a tree with the morsel in its beak, or the fox slay moments. For example, starting में how poet started? There was this beautiful bird, or a bird named Raven, was sitting on the limb of the tree, was perching on, and had this morsel in its beak. लॉन्ग बीक, ठीक है। अब हमने क्या हुआ, we started picturizing it that yeah, the bird is actually perching on a tree, the bird actually had a food in its beak. So we are picturizing that in our mind. That's imagery which a poet uses to make it nice for you to read. Got it? Okay. So these were our poetic devices, and now we have the next one, repetition. Beta, when the same word is being again and again and again and again is used, that is called repetition. For example, if you'll read the poem again, a lot of time the word flattering, the fox repeats flattering words to make the raven believe in its praise. अगर पूरी पोएम में आप ध्यान से देखोगे तो पूरी पोएम में फ्लैटरिंग वर्ड्स को बार बार रिपीट किया गया है, ऐसे वर्ड्स which will make the raven realize that yes, the raven is a handsome animal or a handsome bird and sings really well. So when the words are repetitively used in the stanzas or in the poem, that is called repetition. Okay, so here we are done with the poetic devices that are used in this poem, and now let's move on. Let us discuss. I'm sure you all will be able to do it very easily. Mr. Raven is a bird. ठीक है, the name of the fox was Reynard. The name of the fox was Reynard. ठीक है, okay. This was in stanza 1. Mr. Raven had dash in its beak. What did Mr. Raven had? Mr. Raven had the piece of food in its beak. So a piece of food. This was our stanza number 1. Let's go for stanza number 2. The fox calls the raven a dash bird. Which bird he called? He said that you are a good looking bird. The fox asked the raven to dance or sing. Sing. ठीक है? So sing is the correct option. The raven and the fox live in the woods. Beta, also forest को भी call woods. Forests are also called woods. For example, you can say that I have seen a fox today in the woods. मतलब मैंने forest में fox को देखा. ठीक है? So here we are done with this one. Stanza number 2. Moving on to stanza number 3. The raven dashed that he croaked. The raven dashed that he croaked. Raven क्या हुआ? भूल गया ना, that I croak. I cannot actually sing in a beautiful voice. तो forgot. ठीक है? The raven opened its beak to dash. Why did raven open its beak? To sing. ठीक है? The dash fell down. What fell down? The piece of that food, यानी morsel, यानी food. ठीक है? This is our stanza number 3. Moving on to stanza number 4. The fox dashed at the raven. Fox, what did the fox do at the end? Actually laughed at the raven. Right? It is not dash to be too proud of oneself. अगर अपने ऊपर आप बहुत proud कर रहे हो तो ये अच्छी चीज है क्या? No, that's unwise. ठीक है? यानी you'll stop using your brain. The raven learned a dash. What did raven learn? A lesson. Lesson मतलब एक सीख मिली उसको, एक समझ आई कि जो मैंने किया वो गलत किया, मैं flattering words में आ गया and I did not use my brain and I acted like a foolish bird. ठीक है? Okay. Now here, read the poem again and match the words in the column A with their meanings in column B. Check your answers with your teacher and your classmates. Now these are the words given to us, beta, and these are the meanings given to us. We have to match the words with their meanings. Okay, let's do it quickly and now then we'll do our final answers. Perch means to basically sit on something. So can we do this? Sit on a branch. Morsel was a food ka piece of food. Seek matlab that when you keep on looking for something. Looked with interest as something. Pride matlab बहुत ज़्यादा घमंड होना. Feeling that you are better than others. ठीक है? Moving on. Eyed मतलब किसी चीज पर पूरा ध्यान लगाना. Eyed का मतलब हो गया हमारा smaller area to look for something. बेटा to look for something होगा seek. ठीक है? और eyed का होगा हमारा किसी चीज को हम बहुत ज्यादा जब इंटरेस्ट से देखते हैं, that is called eyed. ठीक है. लिम्ब क्या होता है? I told you the branches in the hands of the tree, the branch of the tree. And woods किसको हम बोलते हैं? Forest areas को we call it woods also. Perch का मतलब मैंने आपको बताया था, to sit on a branch. Morsel was a small piece of food, and pride means that you feel that you're better than other people. ठीक है? So this is our answer. These are the answers given here. ठीक है? These are your answers, and answers are same as we have just discussed. Got it, everyone? I'm sure you all have got it. Here we are done with few question answers and few activities of this chapter. Also, we have learned the poetic devices. Please just open the poem again and just try to mark all the poetic devices in the stanzas. And now I'm going to meet you for the rest of the questions in the next video. Till then, bye.